Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. And we're going to have a lot of fun today. We are on with Marillyn Alauria, who is joining us here in just 2 seconds via video. And I did, some of y'all were waiting for us, and I started the webinar before I was supposed to. I'm doing 5 things at once, it seems like. Really 2 things at once, but that's just kind of how I woke up this morning. And that's just the fun part of everything when we're in this place of living our dreams, which is what we're going to talk about today. It's like when like a little snafu happens, or we kind of get away from ourselves or don't wake up on the right side of the bed. It's always so wonderful just to get back to that center and really have levity with what's happening, because there's a lot of circumstances and a lot of energies that are arising, and we tend to make big things out of little things. But when we go back to the intentionality, and again, Marillyn's so great at this, about really how are we choosing to live on purpose, and what is that dream life that I want to live? Where is it that we take ourselves away from it because of these little things? And how to remember, it's like, wait, hold on a second, my commitments and what I really want to build is this other thing. And that's where we're inviting you into today. So it's going to be a fantastic call today. And Marillyn is freaking awesome at this. And we're going to take live calls. There may be guides coming in. And when Marillyn and I riff on calls, it's just so much fun. So this is going to be amazing. If you don't know Marillyn, Marillyn's an internationally renowned psychic medium. She's one of my dearest friends. She's a teacher, coach, and she offers profound and powerful insights to clients all around the world. She knows that it's possible to be a spiritual person who lives a practical, meaning and joyous life, but with no unicorns or flying carpets or impossible routines that are required. She just helps others create that type of life for themselves, and that's her passion. And it's with that, Marillyn, that it's so fun again to have you on here today.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I love how John started out the show, because I think that there's some really interesting information coming through, and I'm excited to talk to all of you today because I have something big happening in my life right now. And it really goes to show that when something finally comes to fruition, how do you meet it? How do you show up? How do you feel supported through it? And I've been having a lot of emotional experiences, like really challenging, vulnerable, allowing the emotions to come up and not feeling fully supported in the physical. And right before this call this morning with John, I went into meditation because that's what I know how to do, is to talk to my guides, and immediately felt supported. And we're going to be talking about how guides can support us in our lives, and how not to back away from opportunity, how not to back away from your dreams, and to feel the support from your guidance system, your spiritual team, at all times through all the iterations that you're going to go through when you do something really big. And John's one of my closest friends, and he's constantly taking these beautiful risks in life, which is really so marvelous to witness for me personally, because we have different lifestyles, both of us. And he's definitely lives what he speaks. So he's somebody who's always pushing the envelope, pushing the envelope, pushing the envelope. And I get to witness him have an emotional breakthrough or come up against emotions, and he doesn't back down from them. He doesn't get on the unicorn and right away and say everything's okay. He really does the work with his spiritual team to move through it. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, well, it's also an indication of who I surround myself with. And again, we are very dear friends, and it's, there's those types of energies and support systems that kind of allow you to churn the energy that you're in. Like, oh, it's like, oh, poor you and this, and I understand. And there's no solution afterwards. There's no communication that leads somewhere. It's like a stewing in the pot of your own, kind of not landed emotions or vibration, whatever you want to call it. And so to be in community with friendships on a membership platform with people that we work with and co-create with, that really like love it, allow each other to rise up through just the experience of embodiment and showing what else is possible, but not, and being an example for that. It's like there's this emulation starts to take place. And I think that what you do personally is the same thing with the guides show us is exactly that same thing. Like, this is what's available. Let us hold that steady for you. And again, there's a saying in Spanish, and I'm not sure how it translates in English, but it's, I can tell you who you are by who you hang around with.
Yeah.
Right. And so why not hang out with our guides? Why not hang out with people who raise us up? And if we're stuck somewhere, not people who perpetuate the stuckness, but to
Or
allow
don't
us to
see you.
evolve, right? Or don't see you, which
Yeah.
is a big one.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought up community, because it's interesting. As much as I said the physical has been interesting to me, I've actually been Voxering. Voxering is an app where you could talk to someone with people I'm in community with, and like-minded communities are super important to have. So they may not be living where I am physically, but they are a phone call away, or they're a Facebook message away. And I do agree with you, John, that it's really important to surround yourself with people that see and hear you.
Mm,
And I think one of the things that has been happening to me specifically this year and a little bit of last year was recognizing the people that were closest to me don't see or hear me. And it's not about becoming a victim to it. It's about, what do you do to change it? Right. So I grew up and I know a lot of people are going to recognize this and find it familiar. I grew up in a family dynamic where they never really saw and heard me, and
mm.
right now I have a book coming out. It's a big thing. It's a big thing that's happening to me. My family doesn't even know. They don't even know, because they wouldn't be able to
Wow.
celebrate it. And my mother would, but she has Alzheimer's. So it's really like I'm going through this big transformation in my own life, doing what I love to do. And I want to be really transparent and honest with everybody, because we have these moments where we finally achieve what we desire. You know this with love relationships, John,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And then it opens up a lot of things inside of us. And how do you support yourself through that experience so you don't back away from it, but you move through it?
Mm,
And John is right. One of the things that I do is, maybe they're not physically living near me or they're not family, but I make sure that I choose partnerships and friendships of people who can tell me the truth, support me, and help me see something I'm not seeing. Somebody just did that to me right before this call for me, and also cheerlead me on. And it's so important. So we need to find our like-minded community in the physical as well as in the spiritual.
mm. Yeah, this is amazing. So we're here in like-minded community, and we're
Mhm.
here, and we can bring levity to whatever's happening right now, whatever we're feeling. If you're feeling amazing, you're feeling playful and all that, bring that energy. Bring energy.
Mm.
If you feel like you need support, if you feel like you're kind of in the doldrums or not quite sure, allow yourself to be open to receive the energy,
Mhm.
and that there's support. And someone's feeling terrified. We'll get into that in a little bit. Um, Marilyn can be a little terrifying sometimes. I'm kidding. Um, I'm kidding, but there's a lot to be had on today's call. So again, I'm really, we've gotten started, but I want to back it up just a little bit. What's the big news? Did you let it out of the bag already? Is it the book?
Yeah. So I
Let's
just
get
want to
into the
share
book.
this
Yeah.
really fast. And this isn't, we'll be talking about this later, and John's going to send you guys an email. For the longest time, I wanted to write a book, longest time. And I've studied, I'm just going to give you a quick short story so you all can recognize this, or maybe you don't have this experience. So I studied communications, TV communications, but I also was a literature minor. I've taken writing classes even after college. And I've had teachers that told me I suck. And I have teachers that said, you're amazing. And it's been a big love process for me. And I got an opportunity from a publishing company to write a book about guides. And I actually just got the book. So this is the book.
Yes.
And there's going to be ready for pre-order soon. So we'll send you an email with some great bonuses. And if you take my offer up today, there's going to be a lot that's going to be going into that, because it's
Mm,
about how guides have supported me. But it finally happened. And what I had found with this book is how much I love writing. Like, I came home to a deeper part of my soul. And I've been blocking out time in my calendar where I just sit down and write and create, because my guides have so much information they want to get through me. And I usually only do it in my paid communities. And now I feel like this is a great opportunity to bring it out into the world. So yes, I'm excited. Here's my book again.
congratulations.
And
And again,
thank
this
you
is
so
this is
much.
you living your dream. And something that you
Yes.
mentioned at the beginning of the call, and I'm going to paraphrase, but I loved it. It's It was something in regard to opportunities, because opportunities can arise, but unless we're in the mind frame and emotional space to really take advantage of the opportunities, they're just potentials.
Yeah.
And more opportunities seem to be presenting themselves. And there's part of what we're growing through that it's like, maybe I'll wait, or maybe it'll take longer, or I don't know, or I don't deserve, or can it be real, or the thousand of reasons that can come up to not recognize it or take action on. And what are you noticing, Marillyn? Because I know this is coming up. It has to be coming up in community, because as these energies continue to expand, and as we're really reframing and rewiring our nervous systems, our belief system, what we think is possible, there's excitement moving forward, but there's a lot of pullback, a lot of pushing
Yeah.
back and resistance.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to answer that question. And as I answer that question, I'd love everybody to write in the chat something that they've been holding on to with their hearts that they really want to see to fruition. And I'd like us to go on a journey today with John, where we really find we may not be at the end goal at the end of this call, right? But we're going to move the needle forward. This is something we do in my Membership for Your Soul program, where we learn little goals, little steps, move you forward. So the thing that I've learned, John, is this is a preparation for something bigger and greater than me. It's bringing up a lot of emotion in me. And the reason is because I'm saying I'm no longer going to hide. I'm going to let the world see what I do. I'm no longer going to be just the Brooklyn girl, or just the girl who is really outspoken, or just keeps her private stuff to, now I have a podcast that helps, but keeps her stuff to the private community. So what it's bringing up for me is like, okay, now you're saying this is what you do. This is an expert. So now you're allowing the world to see it. But really what it's doing, and you know this, John, I have a huge dream to tell a story about a ghost, a murdered ghost. And I'm committing to doing it for it to be announced October 1st. So this book is an entryway preparing me for people not liking me, people liking me, not caring what people think. And it's an entryway for me to get my soul out there,
Yeah.
And create and be okay with it. So every goal that we create, every goal that we do, it prepares us for the next goal. But if we don't move forward in our goals, in our dreams, in our intentions, we never get to the next level and the next level. And I'm not sure if I'm answering that properly, but that's what's going on for me. The other thing that's going on for me is I'm noticing who's showing up and who isn't showing up. And that's becoming very clear to me as to who I will no longer. Why am I barking up trees of people who don't want to see me or hear me? Why am I constantly knocking on doors of people that they just ignore me? Why do we do that? So I'm learning a lot about my personal process, and you guys are getting a very raw experience of me today because I'm in a raw state. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm thrilled because I discovered a part of my soul that I didn't even know how much I love to write and storytell. I knew it, but now I really know it. And now I'm allowing all the emotions to come through, and I'm not backing down.
Well, and I love the guidance and support that has come through for you on this. So there's friends showing up. There's a publisher who really supported. There's people who are going to support the launch of the book. And I love the example, and I'm hoping this is okay, but your guides, even your guide showed you that they brought in a dog barking up a tree. And your guides, you told me, once a dog comes in, they know how to get your attention in your visions or however you perceive it. And they were showing you a dog barking up a tree, and something huge shifted in you based on your relationship with your guides that kind of provided a spark into something moving forward that wasn't before.
I want to share that story real quick because this
I love
shows
it.
you how much the work that I do and with my guides and how this can all work for you guys. So this is what we want to get you doing today, is communicating with your guides, getting into a community of people that help support you to work with your guides. So I was feeling I had to reach out for people to do endorsements. John is on the back cover. He's one of my bigger
Oh,
endorsement
awesome.
things. Yeah. So he's right back here with Dee Wallace and stuff. And asking for endorsements is a big ask sometimes. You know, John's a really good friend of mine, so he was easy. So I actually texted John. I was like, I want to ask Dee. He's like, do it. That's the kind of support you want to be around. And there were a lot of people I asked, and some of them are really good friends. And one of them just kept saying, yeah, I want to do it. I want to do it. I was like, if you can't do it, it's totally fine. She's like, no, I want to do it. I want to do it. Never did it. Never got back to me. it really hurt my feelings. So I got into meditation and my guides are like, why do you keep barking up trees of people who don't want to support you? And then they show me a puppy scratching at a door because they know if they use dogs, I'm going to pay attention. They're like, why do you keep scratching at doors of people who don't want to see you? And I had this aha moment in the meditation with my guides. And I was like, oh my goodness, you're totally right. Why am I wasting all this energy? Because then I don't feel, then I go through these feelings of myself, what's going on with me. Bull, this isn't about me. So I was like, you're right. I'm done. I'm only going to go to people who see and support me, and people who don't, I'm going to be like, okay, next. So right after the meditation, I go to my phone and I get this text that I'm going to read to all of you. I haven't heard from this friend in a really long time. It's random. So I just go to my phone to see what's going on because I was in a meditation for an hour. And then I go to this text and it's my friend, Allie. And she writes, hi, Marillyn. I just listened to your podcast on how to channel and I loved it so much. Congratulations on your book. I can't wait to buy it. It's going to make me cry. I can't wait to buy it June 28th. And I just wanted to send you a quick text since I'm driving home to get on Zoom for work all day to say I miss you and I love you and I'm proud of you and you're awesome, XO. That's what your guides do for you. They know that at that moment you need confirmation, you need love, and they have some random person who you love a lot send you a text like that.
Yeah, and that's the support that buoys, that elevates, that gives you encouragement, that makes you feel like you're not alone, that you're understood, that you're seen. When we're trying to get it from all these other places, that we may sip it every once in a while, and because we sip it, especially with family, it's a big one. Because we sip it was, oh, okay, we can go back and maybe get some more, and then you don't, then you shell up again, and then the boundaries come up, and then you don't feel seen again. It's like this. It's not that we have to shy away from family, but it's knowing where that source of inspiration is available and wants to nurture in honesty, not just pumping you up for the sake of pumping you up, but just in its transparency and its love. It's like how amazing to be around a love that just doesn't hold back, that just loves you without agenda. And that's what the guides do. That's what I'm finding more and more friends are doing. It's like there's an opening of heart space, there's an open up of empathy and sensitivity with an intelligence around it, not just being empathic for being empathic or sensitive for being sensitive, but there's a maturity to it that you can tell that many of us, or a lot of us, are evolving through. And in that, there's another layer of relational dynamics that really feed that heart space and ignite the community like you were talking about. And I know that's what you do in your community. That's what you provide. So this is amazing.
Yeah, and I'd love to hear. So I want to share one more thing. So synchronicity is huge for me because when you're really in communication with your guides and you understand the symbolic language of your soul, which is your guides speak to you in vibration, you interpret it through your life experiences and what symbols mean to you, and everything's a symbol, right? Then you start noticing the synchronicity, and it's a beautiful symphony that happens in the world. It's absolutely incredible when you're walking with your guides every single day. And so yesterday I was listening to a podcast of these 4 people, and they're all such good friends and they all love and support each other so much. And I was like, oh my goodness, like this is what I'm thirsting for, more of this in my life, in my physical, community and stuff. And my guides sent that to me for a reason, because they were teaching me something in that moment. I always feel that way with my guides, always feel that way with my guides. I feel that way in my peer-to-peer circles, like with John and certain people. And I feel that way in my paid communities because my community is extremely supportive with each other. They're unbelievable, actually. And I share this with you because I want to ask you now another question that John and I are talking about this. And I love what John said. He's like, we all know what family is. It's not about making them wrong. I love my family and accept them for who they are. I just know not to go to them because they're not going to meet me with, it's not going to be supportive. So I don't, I told one brother briefly, and he's like, oh, let me know when it comes out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that because I'm not doing it. You'll find out about it maybe, or you won't. Here's the thing. If you had a guide standing next to you right now, and you're all telling me what dream you want, right? What would you love that guide to say to you? What would you, John's always in touch with his guides, but what would you, everybody just take a moment, like feel your guide. Whether you know them or not does not matter to me. Use your imagination. I teach through imagination. You have to use your imagination. And I was listening to something last night where um, somebody said, Neville Goddard said, God is our imagination. I was like, yes, because so many
Mm,
mediums will say, don't use your imagination. Don't, that you're going to be making it up. No, use your imagination. Feel a guide. What would you love them to say to you right now?
mm.
John?
Oh my God. It's immediately, you're held, you're loved, you're seen. It's like that's what came in immediately. Your needs count and are being taken care of and considered, and prioritized. It's and, and good job. And there's more. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we have invite us in. All is well. This is real. And
Mm,
that's the support you can have um, all the time in your life, all the time. So I saw somebody, I don't like to go to the chat that much anymore because I saw somebody asked about human design. I'm not a projector, but I also don't believe in tests because I do think that they give you some information about yourself and they help you understand pieces of yourself and they help solve the puzzle. But what I've noticed with a lot of people, and this might not be the person who wrote this, but this is what I've noticed with a lot of people, they then stay in the box. I've had people say to me, I'm this, I'm that, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that because I'm this. And I'm like, you're so much more than a number. You're so much more than just a projector. You're so much more than a manifester. There's so much
mm,
more. It's a great understanding tool. I'm not putting it down at all. I think astrology, I think all of that is a great tool to get a deeper understanding of ourselves and we feel understood, right? Through those quizzes. But that's why I'm saying your guides can help you to feel understood on a, for me personally, this is my experience and we all have the right to our own experience on a much greater and bigger level. So I don't like boxing anything in. My guides don't. They collapse the boxes. They're like, we've got something bigger and greater for you.
mm.
Go ahead, John.
No, that's wonderful. You know what I'd like to do? This is, it just feels right. I want to get into a special offer now. April, put the special
Yeah,
offer in
sure.
the chat box. Let's get everybody to open that up. And then I want to get into Q&A just with the audience because I feel so much coming through. And we're just gonna, yeah, this is gonna open up the conversation just so beautifully. So the special offer link is in the chat box, y'all. Click on that link, or if you don't find the link or if it's not open for whatever reason, just open up a new page and go to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Marillyn28. And I said it yesterday, but y'all better know my website by now. Hardly any of y'all are new to this. Beyondtheordinaryshow.com, and I say that jokingly, .com/Marillyn28, and it'll take you to the special offer page. And Marillyn's put together something that I think is going to be of tremendous value. And again, I was having this conversation earlier, and the synchronicity is so wonderful is that in these gatherings, you're giving practical steps on what to do a little bit at a time. And that's what creates the momentum that so many people are looking for. And really, it's part of resetting the nervous system and our action taking ability. And if we just have those little nudges and action steps and we can succeed at those or we can see a difference, it opens up to what else just wants to, the tsunami of potential that really wants to come in.
Yeah.
But those steps are huge. So Marillyn, it's, yeah, guide everybody through what they're going to receive by going into community with you.
Yeah. So we have a really special offer that we've never offered this at. It says membership for your soul. And I have teachers all around the world because I'm not an expert in everything at all. So we have teachers from all around the world that come in and teach material in this program. And there's already a lot of material in there that you can get started with. And we do it in bite-sized pieces so that you're not overwhelmed. But we've added something to membership that is blowing the roof off of the results for people. We've added these things called progress pods. So we have a lot of live components in membership where you could do practice reading circles and somebody will do readings and we have expert speaking calls and things like that. But now we have these progress pods where people meet on a weekly basis with their prod, which is like 6 to 8 people only. And they all pick an itty bitty thing that they're going to do, whether it's based on the material or it's something personal in their life. It could be as simple as it could be as big as I'm going to redesign my bathroom, but it's so overwhelming. Well, the one thing I have to do is just put a Saturday aside. That's all I'm going to do this week is put a Saturday aside to go pick out tiles. So we're doing that in the community, and the community is growing really strong. And what they're noticing is they buck getting things done, and they're recognizing, oh my goodness, it was the easiest thing. I did it like that, and now I'm ready for the next thing. So when you come into Membership for Your Soul, there's so many courses in there: tarot, guides, crystals, astrology. I'm not even a believer in astrology, but we have an astrology teacher in there that's phenomenal, that taught a class. Because like I said, I want you to learn from other people. I'm not the only way. So you're going to learn how to communicate with your guides. You're going to learn how to get into a community of like-minded people that really support you and cheerlead you. I don't allow bullshit in there or ego. It's a really beautiful group of people. You're going to be able to practice reading circles. You're going to be able to take a bunch of classes and listen to expert speakers talking. So you can take a look at that page and you get a glimpse of some of the classes that are in there. And that's just a glimpse, because I don't know how many hours are in there now. And they're beautiful classes. Like I said, we break them up. Then the bonus is Everyday Guided Living course, which is really going to help you to communicate with your guides in the way that I communicate with my guides, which is all the time. It's a muscle you have to build. You don't learn it overnight. Okay. And then there's different areas. We have healing, we have spiritual business, we have guide communication, we have empowerment. We have classes in all those areas. And you can really read that page because we have a lot on that page. So once you sign up, you're going to be put into a portal. You'll be told how to do it. You'll join the Facebook community. And then it's $97 for 3 months. If you want to cancel, that's fine. No problem at all. We have great customer service. Just email us. Let us know you're not going to continue on. If you want it, we're going to send you a couple of emails too. Make sure that you put info@MarillynAlauria.com in your contact list, because we don't want you missing it. If you want to stay on, we're going to give you an offer of joining for a quarter at $147. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's a really great program.
Wow. Wow. I love the way you set this up. And again, the way that Marillyn leads in the community, and you can read, you can actually watch some of the testimonials on there. She's going to get you connected, and you're going to be in a fun place of receiving and learning and really accelerating the consciousness. And it's funny, Marillyn, I want to use this analogy because
you're right. Hold on a second. It isn't working. The checkout isn't working.
Well, as Marillyn fixes that, it's for me, again, being in the like resonance is, for me, I've even discovered that when I've exercised with other people, whether I've gone running, gone to the gym, I've done something, when I'm in a place that there's not resonance and all that, seems like it takes longer for my fitness goals to come. I'm not as enthusiastic or excited by it. My energy dips and it goes up and it's like all over the place. But when something's really aligned and it opened now, fantastic. And when something's really aligned and there's that congruency of consciousness or intentionality and the attitude is supportive of it, you peak so much quicker. There's a flow, there's a joy with it. You're excited about who you're going to see there and how they're motivating you. So it's, again, I wanted to get into the special offer and the membership now. And perhaps also is because of this payment link that, we're always intuitively guided towards that I really wanted to emphasize what's being offered here. Now, if y'all are interested in Marillyn's book, don't worry about the book. We're going to send out an email from BTO. You'll get one from Marillyn also about the book. That's, again, the pre-order is coming out on the 28th, and I highly encourage you to pick it up. I've read it and it's fantastic. So again, I'm super excited about that. And Marillyn, is the link working now?
I know. I think there's a little problem with Entreport. So Laura's working on it.
It's being worked on. We'll get into it in a little bit. And are you able to ask questions in the membership? Someone's asking.
Yeah. So questions, here's how it goes. So I'm in the Facebook page. We also have incredible moderators in there that answer. They've been with me for quite some time. The community has been around for almost 9 years. So there's a lot of people in there that have been with me for 9 years. So we have an incredibly good community, and I go into the Facebook page and I help people and I answer questions and stuff like that. If they're reading questions, I don't answer those on the Facebook page. We have readers that go in and do readings at least once a month, if not more. Hi, Jesse. Um, so just do know that it's not a community where I'm not present. I'm very present. I care greatly for my communities. I want to see them succeed, but I do have boundaries around my readings. So just so you know that.
No, I think that's fantastic. So it's
Also, the
and I
reason why
think
I
that's
do
appropriate.
that is because I want you to learn how to read for yourself. So join the reading circles too. So there's reasons, but go, sorry, John, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. Again, y'all, the link for the special offers in the chat box. April, type it in there again one more time. And again, we're going to open up to Q&A here in just 2 seconds. So y'all hang on. If you want to ask your question, raise your hand. I'm already promoting a lot of y'all, the panelists. And if I have,
Just give me one more second because I just need to communicate with my team.
get that straight. But if you have raised your hand, I want to encourage you to start your video as well. And stick it on there because I like to see your face when I ask when I call on you.
They're saying it's working, so please check it out.
Okay, awesome. If anybody else has a problem getting in, maybe refresh your computer and go back in. And if you still have problems, type it into the chat box and we'll check it out again.
And if it's worked for some of you, please let us know.
Excellent. All right. So Marillyn, how about we dive into some Q&A?
Sure, let's do it.
People's names aren't coming up. So weird. What a weird day. Okay. How about we start with Wendy? Wendy, let's get you to unmute, please.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Wendy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Marillyn? Hi, John.
I'm good.
Hi.
So what's your question, honey?
Okay, so my question is I've started a business. I've written a series of children's books, and I need to continue to invest in this to grow the business. But I'm wondering, should I continue to invest? Should I continue to grow on this? Is this something that my guides want me to do?
Well, here's the answer. I'm going to give you a couple of answers with this, Wendy, right away. So first of all, yes, the answer is yes. And you know that in your heart and soul, just because you're hitting a couple of points because they're showing me the tall trees out my window. They're also showing me some energy in my stomach, which is clairsentience and creativity together because it's the second and third chakra. So it's more about the universe is not saying no, 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 no. It's more about being creative about how to get out there more and be different. They said you have to make a final decision. You have to make a decision. That's it. That this is what I'm doing. Because spirit is like, we're all for this, but it doesn't always happen in the time that we want it to happen, or things don't happen in the way that we plan to have them happen. They said that there's more for you to do, but you also have to understand that this is an access way into other things as well. So by pursuing this and continuing on the trail for this, you're going to reach the other avenues that you're meant to do. So it's not only this, there's so much more. They're like, broaden the pathway. Part of it is about being seen and heard, even in social media, getting on there and being creative about how you can get these books out there, even if it's like getting on YouTube and reading it or writing really fun posts or just engaging with people, because they said there's a part of you that's kind of in the shadows, like, I don't know, and I know that there's another part of you that's like, yeah, this is what I'm meant to do. That's it. I'm supposed to do this. So it doesn't always meet up at the same time. But that doesn't mean that you give up on it. And I don't feel like you're meant to give up on it. But what I feel like the urging is happening, it's not so much, the urging is there's something bigger and greater behind this. There's something bigger and greater that wants to come out. And Spirit saying, do not abandon this foundation. This is the foundation, these books, to the jumping on point, something bigger. So it's like I said about my book. My book is a welcome mat. I saw it clearly. Spirit showed it to me. Here's the welcome mat. That's your book. The door is open. Now we're inviting you in because there's something bigger and greater we want you to get out. And there's all these creative ideas that have been in me for so long that I've sat on, or I've started them and didn't finish them, or I put it out there and somebody said no. And they're like, enough. Yeah. So I have to get rid of the noise and I just go. Does that make sense?
All of this makes so much sense. And even raising my hand on this show has been, I don't feel comfortable with that kind of thing, and social media I don't feel comfortable with, and I know that that's my next step. So thank you, Marillyn. That says a lot to me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I just want to say one more thing, because I've been in conversation with quite a few people recently. I don't feel like the way other people do it is the way you have to do it,
Mhm.
but you need to be in vibrational alignment with all of your work. And so what that means is you're sitting in the value of it, of what it can do for people,
Yeah.
and then allow that to inspire you. But people do need to know it exists. So it might be contacting the local bookstore and asking to do a reading, if the
Yeah.
social media isn't comfortable right now. Because there are people that are breaking through ceilings and they're not worried about having large emailing lists. They're not worried about certain things, but they're also not staying stuck behind the 8 ball thinking, if I don't do it this way, I can never do it. You have to get creative and get out there.
Yeah. And I do think it's leading to something else. That's what I've always thought. I don't know what that other thing is.
You don't need
I
to.
have felt the same thing. So, okay.
Yeah, I know John has something to say because we work off of each other. So it's really good. So John, do you have something you want to share?
Yeah, I just want to confirm what Marillyn was saying, because the first thing that I picked up on is that you do need to keep investing in what you're doing, but you need to invest in different ways. What you're doing is you're regurgitating what's comfortable for you, even though you're spending money and that's not comfortable. And in that, you don't seem like you're getting anywhere. So again, getting comfortable in social media, getting comfortable expanding in a different way, but again, also expanding what you're understanding what the intention is behind what you're doing. So Marilyn's book, she wrote the book and her intention is to teach people. It's not to reach 1 million people.
Right.
If it reaches 1 million people, fantastic.
Yes.
But put your light and your frequency in everything that you do the second you open up your computer, and remember your why, and the how will reveal itself. But keep going for your why, because we get caught up in the how. How do I do Instagram? How do I do YouTube video? How do I build an email marketing? How do I get the books to do this? And when you know your why and you share from that why, it's magnetic. People are attracted to it if it's aligned with your joy and your purpose and something that is really calling from you. And from that, you'll succeed in every way, and abundance will show up in ways that you never imagined. And it doesn't always have to be financially.
Right. Right. Oh, I felt that in my heart. Thank you. Thank you, John.
Yeah, I want to go on the tail end of something John
Yeah.
said, Wendy. It's such a great question for everybody. So I just really, really appreciate you feeling the courage to raise your hand and be seen in this way, because there's a lot of people that listen to this. But John said something really important. He's right. I don't worry about, my mind is not at all on how many people are going to read the book. It's got to be this, it's got to be that. My mind is on, wow, I am finally getting to share how I teach to communicate with guides, because I've not, and this is no comparison. Everybody's great. There's a lot of great people out there. I have not seen anybody teach the way that I teach. That's the honest truth.
I agree.
Because my guides taught me. And I'm just so happy to get this out for people, because I struggled so much in believing in myself and believing in my dreams. And they were my biggest team and cheerleaders, and they call me out on stuff too.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is, this is my baby, and my next baby, I'm telling you, I'm afraid about my next baby, but I'm going to do it.
Okay.
So that's what I want to say. So John, thank you for sharing that piece, because it's super important. Don't worry about the end results. Just do your love.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great job, Wendy.
Thank you, both of you. That really touched me. Thank you.
Blessings. And for you and for everybody else, I'm telling you, this isn't a sales pitch for whatever. Get in a community that's going to support where you're growing into. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be Marillyn, but get in a community that supports you, that has your back, that can elevate you, that can show you where your blind spots are with love, but they're not going to shy away from it. I mean, we're all in this place where everyone here is going to benefit from that, me and Marillyn included. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
All right,
They are saying the link is working, so here it is again.
Okay, April.
If you have a pretty link.
April, put the link in the chat box. Oh, or Marillyn just put it in there also. So
I did. And if you have any questions, because first of all, I love this community so much. And look, you guys decide on your own what you're going to do with your money. I can't tell you what to do with your money. I just believe in what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I believe where I'm taking this membership right now, especially with these progress pods. And what I'm noticing is the community is such good friends with each other. And it's not this woo-woo bullshit. Like, I don't allow that stuff. And what I mean by that, is I'm better than you because I'm talking to this crystal. We don't do
Oh,
that stuff in
no,
there.
no.
So I really believe in this community, and I believe in them, and I believe in what my guides do. So if you're really feeling called to try it out for $97 for 3 months, and it's a live component with a lot of classes, go do it.
Yeah,
It's
I
really,
agree.
I really hope you join us. Okay,
And then
keep going.
continue. All right, let's keep going.
Oh, and then continue. Yeah, that's up to you.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. Let's go to Missy. Missy, welcome to the call.
Missy, did you just say that
Hi.
lovely thing in chat about how John and I are your favorites and you didn't want to tell everybody that?
I did.
It worked. I called on you.
You guys really are though. You guys are an inspiration to me, that's for sure.
Thank you.
A lot of what you just said really resonated with me. Because I've been on this journey for a while and I felt like there's something I am supposed
Wait, Missy. How many of us have been on this journey for a while?
Probably everybody.
How many of us sometimes feel like that needle doesn't move forward fast enough?
Yeah.
Right?
Hello.
Yep.
I just want you to know you're not alone. That's all.
Can I
Go
share
ahead, honey.
something?
Keep going.
I just had this thought the other day. I was reflecting back on my last 15 years and how things that I wanted to come to fruition 15 years ago are just kind of starting to happen now. And I wouldn't skip any part of the journey because the experiences in between were freaking amazing and heartbreaking and all these other things and all of it. But it's made me who I am so that I can receive that thing that I wanted.
You know what I want to say to that, Missy? You don't realize you're opening up a can of worms. That's so good. And we haven't even let you get to your question. The thing that I've learned recently is I'm not broken. I'm not broken because they haven't happened. It's what John said. The journey has been so incredible. Go ahead, Missy. The floor is yours. I promise.
Well, I feel like my guides have been really pushing it in my face lately to get my butt moving, you know, to do something. But I'm having a hard time narrowing down exactly where to go, I guess. I was a drug addict for over 20 years. I have been sober for just over a year. But I don't even think about it anymore. And I know that I will never get high again, ever. I know that all the way in my soul. I know that. But I also lost my son to suicide last year, in February of last year, my only son. So I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I should try to help people, you know, that are struggling with mental health and addiction, or, you know, I would really like to combine.
And I'm going to tell you, Missy, let me answer this first and you tell me what you think.
Okay.
For me, it's not so much about, for me, Spirit is saying it's very powerful for you to get your story out there, however you get it out there, because it's not only about the people with mental illness or maybe drug addiction or things like that. It's about the people who are just having a bad day. And when they hear your story and your inspiration and how you share it, it's going to have a beautiful effect, a rippling effect on so many. I'm getting chills with this. So when we get, and I'm not saying you're getting caught up because I don't think that's at all. I think you're looking for direction. So you know the starting point, and Spirit's like the starting point is just sharing your heart, sharing your vulnerability, sharing your story, and figuring out how you want to share it. It's like what John is talking about, and it's a beautiful weaving of conversation that's happening here because you're at the beginning of the path. It's like if everybody considered the welcome mat, their own welcome mat, what is that welcome mat? What is that welcome mat representing in your life? Well, it's an invitation for you to walk through the door and for you to decide how you want to do it. And then Spirit's like, there is definitely people with mental health that are going to totally benefit from your story. Thank you very much. There's people, they're telling me something, I'll tell you in a second. There's people who are in nursing homes that are going to benefit from your story. There's people who just went through a horrific experience with, I don't want to get into world events, but we all know a world event that happened in the United States a couple of weeks ago that are going to be benefited from your story. Start with this. This is why I love the progress pods in the program. And I know, Missy, I remember who you are now. So I know that this might not be a possible thing for you to go into membership, which is okay. But start with the smallest thing. What would be the first smallest thing that you could do today without worrying about the grander scheme? Because sometimes when our dreams are so big and we know that they're going to have a huge impact, we don't know where to start. What is one little thing that you can do today, besides listening to this program?
Mm.
That's where I have the problem. Like every
Okay.
day. I mean, like seriously, every day. And I do try to come up with like little steps, and I stop myself a lot. And I admit that, because I love journaling. That's something I've loved since I was a little kid. And I tell you what, I have barely journaled at all this year. And that's something that like I love to do. I love writing, but I just don't do it. I
Yeah.
don't
So I'm
know.
going to say, I want to say something that, and then I want to hear from John and Bridget. Thanks for your recommendation, but I'm going to show you guys how we break these results, how we break these goals down in membership. Missy, start a blog. It's a great idea, but to a lot of people, that's overwhelming. Oh my goodness, the technicality, all that. And it's a beautiful suggestion, Bridget, because that shows support. So I'm not putting that down. What I would suggest is decide tomorrow at 24 hours, same time today, you're going to write a post on Facebook. You're not going to publish it. You're going to write that post from, what is a flower that you love, Missy? What's a flower that you love?
Lotus.
The lotus is going to write the post. You're going to get into the energy of the lotus, and the lotus is going to write the post. You have to write it, Missy. You have to make me a promise right now, so that you know what the small task would be today. It wouldn't even be write the post. The small task would be today, I'm going to put on my calendar right now when I'm going to write that post.
Nice.
Okay.
So I want to hear what John has to say, but Missy, is this helping you? Because I didn't allow you to really get into your question, because I don't usually need a lot of the question. I just want to make sure we're helping you.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually.
John,
Beautiful.
what did you want to say?
Just a couple of things. And I love what Marillyn's saying right now, because it's those actionable things. I'm telling you, those little things add up to so much. And you're right, writing a blog post, it's like, okay, I'm going to do that 10 steps ahead, but I'm not going to start there, because you can't get from a point of needing to be in safety to then being able to think that you can deserve something. And if you can't deserve it, if you don't deserve it, then how can you have it? And if you can't have it, how can you be it? And if you can't be it, how can you be grateful for it? So there's an alchemy that happens in it, and you have to be in a place, well, I have to feel safe doing it. Oh, I feel like my voice deserves to be heard, and let me kind of put it out there. Or I can be in relationship with the lotus, or I deserve to have creativity, whatever the block is, right? And so, oh, I can be with the lotus. Hold on a second. What can we, oh, I am being with the lotus. What does that feel like? And dang, this feels so good to be with the lotus. Thank you. Thank you.
I think that'll be really,
and to go through those.
Very beneficial and probably pretty deep.
Go through those phases. Go through, it's safe to do it. I deserve to, I can, I'm doing it, and I'm so grateful. And as you do that, it's like it's something builds up, and you're just like, oh, I just broke through an old pattern that I felt stuck in before. I don't resonate with that pattern anymore. That's what you've done with your addiction, whether you know it or not. And you're just taking what you've done with your addiction into another layer of what you're capable of doing. And if you can overcome that, woman, you can overcome anything.
That is what my son always said. And he told me, Mom, if you ever get sober, because you are the most dedicated drug addict I have ever known. He said, if you ever get sober, anybody can. And that was a thing between me and him, you know, and he always said, it'll be a miracle, Mom. It'll be a miracle, Mom. So he's not here to see it, but he knows it's happened, and I know he's proud. And I do believe, and I know that it's inspiring.
I want to give you two more things.
Okay.
Just go out tomorrow as an actionable thing, and go take yourself out. Don't expect that it's just you and yourself. Go out and get an ice cream and celebrate your sobriety. That's an actionable thing where you're just celebrating you. If it's ice cream, if it's pizza, whatever it is, that's just a treat. That's just, I wouldn't do it because it's silly to do it by myself or whatever. It's just do something for yourself. Just, I'm celebrating this for me.
Yeah, that's been hard for me to do.
I know, that's why I'm giving you that actionable thing to do. It's little, if you can do that little thing, it's going to start building up. And it's just, it's such a gift and acknowledgement, because we look for acknowledgement in the outside world. And it's like, and sometimes we don't even think we deserve it, but God, give it to yourself, because you know how big of an event that was. I'm not going to give you the other one. I think this is plenty. And
I'm just shaking because
Yeah.
it's hard for me to even talk in front of people, but like, I also know that I'm so honest, and like, this is so close to my heart that I will be honest about everything that's happened in my whole entire life, because I feel like that's what's needed at this
Yeah.
time. I feel like people need to be more honest about addiction and you know, the downfalls of it. I mean, I've been through a lot. I've been to prison. I mean,
and you bring a spiritual consciousness perspective to it that's uniquely yours. So however you share it, just share
I feel a lot better.
share it on the street corner with the next person. It doesn't have to be a book or a podcast or anything else, and it'll grow into what it wants to. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah,
We love you.
volunteer
so
somewhere.
much. Thank you.
Thanks,
Love you guys.
Missy. I want to say one quick thing and move on. Missy, what you have to say is so worthwhile. It's
Yeah, it
so
is.
worthwhile. So volunteer. But the other thing too, you said your son's not here to see it. Oh, he's the one who's urging you. He's the one who's pushing you along, girl.
I think you were the one. You told me there's somebody behind you going like this. You told me when you did a reading on me one day.
Oh, I
And
love
was like,
that.
I bet that's him.
That's him. That's him.
Thank you
Sending
so
you love,
much,
honey.
guys.
Much love.
So before we move on, John, I want everybody in the chat to write so this is what we do in membership. They're called progress pods, and they're really, really good. And G is actually one of the leaders in there, even though she's like, I'm going to take that advice too and go get ice cream and visit horses.
Yeah, I love it.
So G is from my program, and she's one of the, G, I think you're one of the leaders in membership, right? Because she's also in my other program. I want you all right now to think of something small, but it's super small. It could be, I'm going to call Joe. It's not you call Joe today. It's that you put it on your calendar when you're going to call Joe. So I want everybody to write in the chat right now one thing that they can do to move their life along, to move their goals along, move their dreams along. Go ahead, John.
Beautiful.
You can choose whatever you want.
Let's choose the next person. Jesse, let's go to you, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, I was feeling Jesse. Jesse was like,
Hello.
energy. Hi, Jesse.
Oh, I mean, yeah, so much energy, so much love to you all. Thank you. And what an alignment this call is. I haven't been able to join in a while. And everything that you're talking about is just exactly what I wanted to ask you about. So as I'm shifting, you know, I've gone through a lot of shifting in the last year, you know, in essence of sharing and vulnerability. You know, I've gone through, you know, near divorce with my wife, and how I've seen and that growth and growing, we've grown back together. And I'm noticing, you know, my family and my friends, you know, not wanting to connect to communicate with them as much anymore. And as I'm, you know, I'm very aware of what's occurring. I'm shifting my vibration, and I'm noticing that there's a lot of abuse and control and things that have happened and occurred in my whole life. And so I'm detaching myself from that. So I guess my question is, you know, how can I do that in a more loving way? I feel like I'm becoming very independent. I'm a very independent soul in general, and I know I have a very specific purpose. But yeah, how can I be more loving in the way I you know, continue to show those people that have supported me to this point, you know, but also I don't feel as connected to them anymore. So
I think it's a great question. And I feel like it's a question that a lot of people, me included, are going through. And I'm going to share a couple of things with you right now. One of them is giving yourself permission to move away, to be okay with moving away, to know that is your birthright. And I wish I could remember, I have a friend of mine who's actually been in recovery for many, many years. And I remember struggling with this. And she said, just because they were in your life at that point to help you does not mean that you need to anchor them to you now. And I can't remember how she said it, but she gave me permission in the moment to love them for who they were in that moment and really be grateful to them. But I wasn't indebted to them for the rest of my life, because as somebody who's in recovery, they know that the people that may have been supportive at her during the period she was using, they were not the same people who could be supportive with her when she's in recovery, even though they served their purpose. These people serve their purpose for whatever reason they are. My question to you, Jesse, is you asking yourself, I think you're more worried, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you're more worried about what's going to happen to them by you leaving them.
yeah, you know, I've been a rescuer for so long, you know, and it didn't become into my awareness until just this last year. of how much rescuing I do, and how much glue I am to my family. So yeah, you know, and starting new communities as well too, and trying to build spiritual communities, and just seeing these friendships and things grow, but I'm not feeling attached to my community, you know. And so I guess does that answer your question?
Yeah. So my question is what is the detriment to yourself by continuing to rescue them?
Well, it's siphoning my energy, you know.
What is it stopping you from doing physically?
Nothing's stopping me. I mean, there's nothing.
No. But you feeling energetically attached, just hear me out and you can disagree. You feeling energetically attached because I have the same thing. I understand this. I'm leaving this group. I'm not going to rescue them anymore. I could still love them from afar. I appreciate them. And by letting go of that energetic energy, it frees up a lot of space inside of you to do something physically in your life, make something happen. You now are taking away attention and focus from them. You're able to put attention and focus on what it is that spirit is calling you to do. What is it?
I'm making an album right now, and I'm writing 2 books. I have 2 books on my list. The first one I know about. The second one I have a vague reference to. But yeah, so my guides have told me, and that's where I feel. I know it's where I'm heading, and I know that's why this is occurring. So it's all, you know, I have faith in what's happening. I guess I just still feel bad in a sense, you know. I still feel like I'm supposed to be there for these people.
Marillyn, can I share something? And I know it's going to expand.
Yes, please do.
Brother. Oh my goodness. Right. And perhaps this is more of a masculine trait than a feminine. I don't think so, but certainly as men, we carry that Lancelot type of gotta go in and save, and if we don't, you know, what's going to happen? And even with the archetype, and I don't know how much you resonate with the Camelot archetypes, but even beyond that, it's just, I want you to feel into whatever burden of shame and guilt you're carrying, because that's your anchor. That's your anchor. And when you let go of guilt and shame, and there's steps to doing it, and there's processes, and I know Marillyn can guide you beautifully in community and resonance with it, because it's supported in how you show up. But whenever you reframe guilt and shame, it's not that the relationships from the past can't come with you. They get to evolve as well. You set them free from the binds and the shackle of codependency that have kept everybody anchored down. You're not the only one anchored in it. You're doing it to each other.
Right.
And when you realize that when you can let go of the guilt and the shame, you're setting them free as well, because your guilt and your shame is courting into them, because I've got to feel bad because I'm supposed to be something for you, so you can expect that. Then it starts to shift. The only thing and there's nothing in moving forward and not feeling. It's great to not feel resonance with other people. You're not cordoned in with them. It feels disparity because you're so used to being intimately courted with someone else that when you release and let go, it feels like you're not attached anymore. It's like, I'm not tethered in the same way. You're just adjusting to the difference. You're doing it, and it feels a little off, and you're guilting and shaming yourself for not feeling something. Right? It's like, wait, where am I doing it wrong? Just check your intentions. My intention is love. My intention is self-growth. My intention is self-love. My intention is to serve others. And I understand that to serve others, I also have to serve myself. And if that's your intention, there's not anything you can do wrong, as long as you're keeping it honest.
Right. Beautiful. Beautiful, John. Thank you. Yeah, that makes so much sense. And I think, that's as that I'm continuing this divine masculine journey, right? You know, my stability and just being present as my sovereign being is the love and healing I feel like that's providing to the people around me. So I'm growing into that. But yeah, you're like, that guilt and shame is something that's embedded in me. I'm removing, every day.
So there's 2 things. And John, I'm so glad you offered up the male perspective, which I think is so important. And it's something that everybody's relatable to. And I love what came out of that. Something I just want to share that that I listened to on this. Two things actually. One is we're constantly becoming what people want us to be.
Mm.
And we have to be careful of that because you don't necessarily want to be what they want you to be anymore. And the other thing is, by you focused on a small group of people, your books and albums are meant to be focused on a mass group of people. So you're keeping that information away from the masses because this energy is distracting. I just wanted to add that into anybody else who just saw that. So I just loved everything you just shared. So thank you for that.
That's so wonderful. Jesse, yeah, keep rocking it, dude. Way to go.
Thank you guys. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
All the
and
love
again-
to everyone.
And again, it's one of my favorite quotes that was given by my guides. When in doubt, love, as a noun, as a verb, as an adverb, as an adjective. When in doubt, love. And that includes
Thank you.
loving yourself. Yeah.
I was in a clothing store and they said, when in doubt, go without. I was trying to buy something. They said, when in
That's
doubt, go
funny.
without. And I used that one. When in doubt, go without.
That's a good shopping mantra. I love that. That's awesome. Oh my God. All right, let's go to our next live caller. Y'all are so amazing. Anne, let's go to you. Anne Sanchez. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much. Really loving this conversation. Yeah. My
Thanks,
question today is about how things are changing a little bit with my clients and the work that I've been doing. And I've been receiving messages in a new way, lots of premonitions and sights and just really seeing into a situation. And I also am getting kind of this energy release that's a lot of twitching when it's happening. So I was just kind of moving into that in asking spirit here with you, you know, well, just wondering about what they have to say about that, how to kind of integrate that and what maybe is happening.
You know what's so interesting to me, and I've noticed this with pretty much all of your questions, and it's why I teach what I teach, is you all know the answers. And I understand asking the question because it's confirmation, or you may hear something or a validation, and I appreciate that because you trust John and I both to support you in this decision, but you already know the answer. The answer, Anne, first of all, when you were talking, is my heart was completely opening up. And there's a lot of energy in the second, third, and fourth chakra for you. And you know that you're meant to move into this arena. You know that there's more healing and more loving energy that's coming through you, whether it's spoken or not, does not matter. Because it's what the space that you're holding for people. I also feel that spirit's moving you from a one-on-one model into a one-to-many model. And having the capacity to be able to use this energy to a group of people. Now, I feel like you have a very great intellectual mind where you're very good at listening and offering up advice, almost like a therapeutic type of advice. But there's more energy that wants to come out of you, which is through your hands, through your body, through your soul, that also transmutes and transforms the information. You also may find that there's certain types of clients that you can no longer serve. There are new clients that you're moving through, and that's what happens because you yourself have accelerated to another level. It's not a comparison thing. It's not this client isn't good enough. This client, there's other people to serve. So actually what spirit is saying to me, the moon and the sun behind you are very, very important symbol for you because it's about bringing in the dark and the light together and experiencing the oneness in the experience. You're going through a shift that is almost like a channeling type of energy shift. And this energy is not meant to be stopped up. You can't put the plug in the tub. It's got to be pulled out. It's got to be expressed. It's got to come out. So how this looks for your clients, I don't know because I don't know the parameters you've set your business up in, but I know that those parameters can no longer house your wisdom. And you have to get out and you spend a little time. I'm getting a headache. So there might be a little too much thinking going on, although I feel you're very open. So it's not, I don't speak to people like you're not doing this right, but people sometimes hear it that way because of their filters. Spirit focuses on expansion, and that's sometimes focusing on the things that we need to tweak. You're already a beautiful soul. I shouldn't have to say that, but sometimes I feel like I do. But there's a little too much thinking going on. Feel it and allow it to happen. But I see one to many. So whether you're open to that type of work or not, or if you're already doing it, that's what I see. I'd love to hear what you have to say to that. And then I'd like to hear what John has to say.
Yeah, I think that resonates a lot. I do already kind of was looking for that little bit of that validation. Like already kind of know, but it's a vague knowing. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I wonder what else information. I
It's
can
not a vague knowing
receive.
for me. It's
Mhm.
I just, excuse me for jumping over your words, just
No,
because
that's
this is
fine.
what my community, me and my community is about, empowering them. And for me, it's not, I'm going to ask you to think, invite you to think about, is it a vague, or
Is
is
that
it
Marilyn that
just,
cut out, or is it John?
I think it was you, John. It's owning
Okay.
what you know. One of the biggest things I heard recently was just decide. Just decide. Because I was like, well, what is it? Just decide.
Mhm,
When you make a decision, that's it.
mhm.
I hope, does that make sense, Anne?
It does, and the work that I'm doing right now feels a little bit more constrained. It's depth hypnosis, which is a beautiful work, but it has a lot of perimeters, and I feel like what I'm receiving isn't within that, and so I'm kind of trying to find a way to either weave or, yeah. Mhm,
And that's one of the things I have with when I'm helping people figure out their branding is if they study one type of healing and they have to follow that healing to a certain strict protocol. And I don't have anything against that because that's somebody who's created it, whatever.
mhm,
My thing is we have so much life experience to bring to that healing that elevates that healing. And you can have 100 theta. I always use theta because I knew they used to be really strict. You could have 100 theta healers in the room. You're going to have a different experience with each theta healer because of their life and their energy force.
mhm.
So yeah, you're being asked to, and I don't know that healing and the hypnosis and the protocols and stuff. So, but
Mhm.
you're being asked to bring forth this energy that wants to come out. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry. And I think it was you. I don't know if it was me. I just kept talking, so it didn't
No,
matter.
it was me. It was me for sure.
Okay.
And how's this landing for you?
Good. And I think part of it too, that how I'm feeling it move through my body definitely feels like a channel, and the twitching is different for me. So I'm moving into that. If that's something that's more of a blocking that's happening is why I'm twitching, or if this is,
And the
so,
twitching is their energy working through you.
yeah.
So you will
Right.
twitch, you'll move.
Mhm.
It's the energy, their energy is coming through you, and your body is, we hold certain muscle memories and stuff. It's working through your body.
Yeah.
So you
Mhm.
want to go with
So
the
when
twitching. You want to
Yeah,
allow
I
it
do.
to work through you.
Yeah.
Good.
I do. Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is what you know, and I say healer, heal thyself. You're use your own tools on yourself, your own knowing on yourself that you would use on, that you would work with on clients. You have it. You absolutely have it. And
Mhm.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but what are you afraid of?
I get the first thing that comes to mind is that I'm wrong, that information is wrong.
Yeah.
What else are you afraid of? I think there's a lot of fears, and maybe this resonates or not. Again, that you're wrong, that you're doing it wrong, that the switching is weird,
Mhm.
that I do twitch and I'm receiving something and I don't know what to do with it. I'm afraid if I don't do it right, my financial prospects are going to be different, and I'm not going to support myself in the way that I thought I was going to support. I'm afraid that it's going to be weird. I'm going to lose clients. I mean, whatever just comes up, it's
Mhm.
all beautiful, because whatever fears you're navigating, they're also the
Mhm.
fears that you're navigating your clients through. So have a lot of compassion for what's going through you. And I love, Marilyn, that you point out the sun and the moon, because for me, what I saw in the beginning also was that you're really going into shadow aspect, if you want to call it that, and being okay, being in these deeper states of that subconscious and even perhaps shamanic realms, if you want to call them that, where they are, and you're extrapolating more of the power and wisdom from those places of consciousness than perhaps you were used to working before. So you're merging dimensions in the way that you work, and then how you access your guides and the power that you receive from your guides in this very powerful therapeutic work that you're doing, that I'm feeling. And I'll leave you with another quote that I received. Again, I'm getting lots of quotes from my guides lately, but I'm not afraid of my fear. Don't be afraid of your fear.
Yeah, and that's exactly, also I'm taking it as that opportunity, like you said, the fear, and then working through and in that to blossom and open even more. I was even just working with that yesterday, sitting within the fear.
And
not
again,
being afraid
what I
of
love
the
about
fear.
what Marilyn does, why I love promoting her work, why I love doing it in, is that it's that community that allows you to be in this expression of who you be and support you in the growth of it, rather than stifling something that supposedly you can't be because you're spiritual or you're helping people or it's too dark or it's taboo. It's like, no, it's the authentic expression of you. If Picasso taught everybody how to paint exactly how Picasso painted, and that's all they did for the rest of their lives, their expression of personality and soul and passion and how they share it with the world would be living in the black and white world. It'd be boring. And so to break, to color outside of the box in your therapeutic practice, it's a gift for the people who are resonating towards you to be able to receive.
Thank you, John. I think you really captured exactly what I'm doing. Now, with your understanding of the work that I do, yeah.
I could feel it. I could feel it. So it's beautiful. And I love how Marillyn opens it up. So Marillyn, thank you. I love how we do this together. And Marillyn is epic. Marillyn, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I
Okay.
just had to communicate with my team.
Marillyn's communicating with you. All right, and blessings to you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Good luck,
Have a beautiful day. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I love that question about fear. I think that was so good.
Yeah. So everybody, April, put the link for Marillyn's community, that platform in there. It's 3 months of membership, but y'all, when you sign up for other programs, you get 10 modules, other things. You're gonna get so much. This is amazing. And at this price, Marillyn said, I'm just gonna give it away for your community because I want people to be in there. So the link's in the chat box. It's $97, 3 months. If you want to continue, there's another discount if you want to continue afterwards. But I can feel the support that's available to you. Take advantage of it. You can see a lot of testimonials already coming that have already come in reference to the membership. So this is awesome. Again, $97.
Yeah, it's a great. And you're talking about channeling and stuff like that. Like Anne was talking about channeling. We have a channeling class in there and stuff. And one of the things when you start opening up to your guides, you're receiving information and energy that your body is not yet ready for. Sometimes people will meet their guides and they'll be like, oh my goodness, I was so afraid. And I would tap into the energy and I go, because I could feel whether the guide was not, in alignment with them. And I was like, you sure? Go back. Let me know what you think about that guide. Just let me know, or do we need to release that guide? And many times it was because the guide came in with so much unconditional love, they weren't able to receive it. So they interpreted it as fear. So in the beginning of my channeling, I don't twitch as much now. I mean, I don't even need to go into deep meditation to communicate with them. And what I say, everybody has access to. I do not think I'm any different than anyone else. I think we interpret things differently. I think we have expertise in different areas. But if this is something that everybody desires, it's available to everybody else. So the twitching part, I used to get super nauseous because I had to raise my vibration. They had to lower their vibration and I would want to throw up. And it took like 30 minutes originally. And then I had to do certain tactics. Sometimes I had to stop the meditation and go eat crackers. Sometimes I had to lay out on the floor and just breathe into my chakras. But I did not want to stop that experience because when I got into it, when I worked through the nausea, it wasn't all the time. And I would spend time with them. And I was like, I don't want to go back down to that earth. I was like, oh my goodness, it's amazing. And they taught me how to bring that into the earth plane to experience it. And it's why I have to live in nature now, because I love nature, because it's all around us all the time. So I wanted to offer that up to you, Anne, because of anybody else who's opening up to this, it's the most profound experience that truly saved my life, and continues to every single day. So I really do hope that you come play with me in membership, because there's a lot in there of support of how to, and it's not about listening to me. It's about you having the experience of it, because you need to have the experience of it to understand how your body is your instrument. I'm not your instrument. Your body is your instrument, and you have to learn how you're seeing, hearing, feeling, sensing, and knowing. So I just wanted to go off on a little tangent there.
It's not a tangent.
I probably got a little anger of the team in there that went out. Not my team, not my spiritual team, my physical team.
Oh, funny. All right, let's take another caller. Christina, let's go to you now.
Hi, Christina.
Hi, Marillyn. Thank you so much for this conversation. It's been so helpful so far. I've been at a point where I've been feeling like I have just this tremendous sort of split energy, where I feel just very stuck between what I feel. I guess I feel a little stuck, and I've been feeling lost for a long time. I'm in a job that in a lot of ways is very aligned with what I like to do, which is helping people and helping them heal. And at the same time, it doesn't feel like quite the right fit. I feel like there is more, but I just haven't been able to really connect with what it is I truly want or what my sort of purpose is. And I've just been really wanting to find that clarity and that connection, because I do feel like things are kind of ripening and it's time for me to maybe make a move forward or make a decision about staying and really committing to this work that I'm doing or going on to something completely different. But
I don't
it's
know
just,
that it's
yeah.
so. Christina, let me ask you this question real quick. What is the color yellow? Close your eyes. What does the color yellow feel for you? Where do you see it, and what does it feel like? Like, give it emotional words.
Sunshine, vibrance, energy, joy, radiance.
Does it feel like alignment to you?
Yellow? It's a good question. I mean, yeah, like a kind of bright yellow white.
Okay. Where did you feel it in your body? Where do you feel it in your body?
I feel it in my heart.
Okay. You can open your eyes. I want you to go through your work and I want you to notice where the yellow lives. And then close your eyes again, Christina. What is the opposite of yellow?
Puke green is what I saw.
Great. Beautiful. Trust it. Where does that live in your body?
I'm at the bottom of my stomach.
Okay. And where did the yellow live again?
In my heart.
Great. Open your eyes, sweetie. So the split off, I'm going to give you some suggestions. The split off is normal. It's when we start like transforming something big in our life and we don't yet have all the information to know what that action that we need to take or what it is, the clarity. And being with the lack of clarity to me it's an uncomfortable place, but that means change is going to happen. It's a really good place to be. So the way that I try to organize that is I will work with what is really my yellow and what's my green. I would want you to start with your physical job first, because I'm hearing from spirit, it's not about releasing it completely, because no matter what you elevate into, as you're elevating right now, you're going to be taking components of this with you because it's a large part of you and there's parts of it that you love. So it's not an all throughout the baby with the bathwater type of situation. You are growing past certain situations with this job because you're being called to do more and you're not feeling as fulfilled as you used to feel. And there's more fulfillment out there for you. But instead of making the decision of I have to leave the job right now, it shuts things down. So let's just get into the energy of what inspires me. What is creative about this? So every night before you go to bed, I give this exercise to a lot of people. I'm going to give it to you differently. I want you to think through the events of your day, and I want you to find the yellow and find the green. And then I want you to add more yellow into your day, but I want you to go through your day, Christina, and find the yellow. And the yellow is going to be the butterfly that flew by you. The yellow is going to be the random conversation you had with someone. And that's going to bring you more into alignment with your soul about what you're meant to be doing, because you're not out of alignment. You're just the course is just a little cloudy. And you're also not, for me, and I know John is like, I got stuff. And I love that. But what I feel is happening, because I'm seeing your path and I'm seeing the clouds and I'm feeling the confusion of, I want to know, I need to know, I need to know. And Spirit's like, just keep going because it's going to be clear, but continue to do, this is chills, what you enjoy, what you like, and find what you're passionate about and what you're not passionate about. And that's going to take you exactly where you need to be, because we have an idea in our mind where we think we're supposed to be. And it's good to have ideas and clarity, but then you've got to surrender, because what Spirit has for us is so much greater than what we have in our hearts. Because we are basing everything on life experience. They're basing everything on our spiritual soul experience. Does that make sense, sweetie?
It does. Yeah.
Great. John, what did you want to add to that?
No, you hit the nail on the head. It was beautiful. And again, I would just like be explaining it in a different way. But for me, it was also, it's like, where you're not fulfilling yourself in other parts of your life. And it's not about judging yourself in it, but where can you start to? It's like, where can you start from this moment, giving that creative pursuit or that thing that brings you joy, or doing something a little bit differently that's going to ignite that spark of creativity within you that that feels like you're looking for, and you're expecting this one thing to fulfill it. And because it's not, everything else feels like it's disassociated from that one thing that you want, from the freedom, from the expression, from what you're growing into. And so by giving yourself, and you can look at it the opposite way. You can look at your job. It's like, you know, what is it that I want from my job that I'm not getting? And how does it make me feel? But then look at other aspects of your life. What is it I want from these aspects of my life that I'm not getting? And how does that make me feel? And then you'll see that there's overlap in between the two. So it doesn't become about your career not being the fulfilling thing. It's like, where are you fulfilling your cup on your own, and not making this one thing be the be all that's going to do it for you. And because of that, nothing else can move forward. And so you're bringing yourself back into balance, not making a relationship, a job, a pet, family, whatever it happens to be what drives you. But you find that in everything that you do, that driving force and that passion is really what you're growing into. I think this is your path of initiation, realizing when you realize this, your whole world's going to open up to a bliss that you cannot even begin to imagine.
You know what's interesting, Christina, and Anne's going to relate to this, and I love what John said. I've been in business for over 14 years. We have moments in our businesses where what we used to do no longer feels resonant with us. And it doesn't mean I throw out the entire business. It means that I'm in creation mode for something else. So I want you to know you're not alone. It's actually a very exciting place, but it's also a place. And I loved what John said to Anne, because this, my financial resource may dry out. Like I've walked away from financial. I'm not doing readings anymore. And I closed the door, and then I was stuck with the abyss, but I couldn't do it anymore. My, private readings and stuff, but it made me create from I got clear. I cleared out the energy, and then I was able to create my next iteration, which was Membership for Your Soul. And then from then I've been creating so many group programs. So this space is such a great place to play in. Is it scary? Yeah. But if you're not uncomfortable, you're not creating change.
Well, and that's
So
where I want to get
that.
to also, Marillyn. And I want to add that, because for me, it's also happening that it's like where other things aren't working in the way that they used to when they worked so beautifully before.
Mhm.
And I've tweaked it out for a long time, but it's gotten so uncomfortable. It's like, I know I've got to create something else now. I just know I have to. I have to. And the things to create are lighting up in my field all of a sudden. It's like, oh, hold on a sec. Well, that'd be easy. That'd be fun. Instead of needing to, which is what the push is driving me towards. The pressure is driving me towards. I can't be just sitting comfortable in what worked before, because it isn't working in the way that it used to. And that's the growth edge. So a lot of us, I can relate, are going through that growth edge. And I've been in it for months. What's that next thing going to be? I don't know. This doesn't feel right. The timing's not right. And I don't know. And it's like, I'm not ready. And whatever it happens to be, or all of those things, which it have been for me, that we're actually growing into beyond an edge that we thought that we can grow into. It's been uncomfortable. We don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater, but we can take what's really serving us and add to it. And then we can make these beautiful transitions that support the full of our living, not just the career aspect, because we've been focused too much on one foundation and neglecting other foundations in our life, whether they be our health or relationship, ships, our financial wherewithal, whatever it is. And we're learning again to be in the intimacy of all of it at once, because we really do deserve to have that fulfilled life. And you're discovering new aspects of that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think sometimes the feeling of like focusing so much on the confusion or the not knowing does sort of keep me from getting or receiving some of the answers, or at least receiving kind of the next little steps to take. So it's helpful to just kind of relax. And
I know Marillyn has to say something about this, but I also want to invite you not to judge yourself or saying that you're shutting yourself down, or the not knowing. It's just trust, because you know that you're capable. And the judgment and the self-deprecation where I must not be doing it right. Look at where you are doing things right and focus on that, rather than you're doing something wrong because you're not getting the answer that's going to liberate you. Where you are doing things right, those are the answers that will liberate you.
Focus on the yellow, Christina. Even when you're
Nice.
walking out or washing dishes or doing laundry, focus on the yellow in your life, and it's going to help you to ease that pressure. Yeah. That was the only thing. The other thing I was going to say that I forgot that I'm doing, because we've shifted membership, and so I'm doing not progress pods. I'm doing pod parties. So what I do, we're trying this out for the next couple of months. We did the first one this month, and it was really phenomenal. I'm doing a meeting thing like this, and everybody comes on screen, and I'm teaching live for 20 to 30 minutes because I'm constantly getting content. And then I'm taking Q&A and coaching during those. So if somebody asked if I do group readings, that's how I'm doing them in membership, because I believe that we're peer to peer. I don't believe that there's an acceleration of any. I'm not a guru. I refuse to ever be a guru. So I find that these types of, look at what John and I are doing with all of you here. This is what I'm starting to do with my community and membership, but it does get populated on my podcast, just so people know, because I want people to learn, but only members. And I'm not going to get into all that. If you join membership, we'll explain how it works, but I just want you to know that that's how you get to learn from me live.
Wonderful. I'm excited for you guys to.
Sorry,
go in
Christine, I didn't mean
deeper,
to
Marillyn.
cut in there.
Nah, you weren't cutting
Great
at all.
questions.
Christine, blessings to you. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, y'all. We're at the top of the hour for our call today. Well, Marillyn will be back, but you don't have to miss Marillyn. Again, the opportunity to work with her is there in the special offer. It's $97. The 3 months of the membership. And of course, if you want to come back and listen to Marillyn and to this call again, we'll send the replay link out a little bit later this evening. And you can always access replays by going to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/replay. All right, Marillyn, just big congratulations. And I wanted to do this in a group hug for you, and acknowledgement for putting your work out and your new book, and just what a big milestone that is. It's like it's so wonderful seeing you in this receiving of that acknowledgement. So all of us here in the community are in unison sending you love. Congratulations, and thank you for what you do and the way that you do it.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's beautiful.
And
Thanks,
for
John.
everybody on the call, thank you all for being so freaking amazing. Such a fun call. I love you all. I bow to each and every one of you, and namaste. And I look forward to seeing you on the next call. Y'all take care.